Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news over here where we're actually now seeing one of the biggest resurgences, funny enough, when it comes to the PlayStation 5. Now, as you guys have probably seen throughout the past few weeks, especially when it comes to sales, numbers, and everything in between, the PlayStation has been doing, well, phenomenal. We've been seeing a lot of big amount of stock, we've seen a lot of just people getting their consoles, we've just seen a lot of good news when it comes to gaming as a whole. We saw this in America, we saw this up in the UK, and we're now also seeing this in other regions, but right now we're kind of seeing like almost like a massive tidal wave where just everything is just basically flying off the shelves, but as well flying on the shelves too. I think that was a good metaphor, I'll take it. So basically, I'm just going to give you some details. We also have a little bit more updates on the actual firmware updates too, in case you guys have missed that one. I know a few people were kind of curious on that update, so we're going to talk about that, talk about the news, talk about everything. So, well, let's just go in and talk about it. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have the Target Amazon links down below. And of course, leave a like, your comments, and all that good stuff. And also let me know if you guys have even gotten your consoles as of per recently, because I feel like most people already have. Thank God. So, in case you guys have been curious, with all the ongoing drama when it comes to the Xbox and PlayStation acquisitions, we're also seeing really big numbers in terms of sales. So right now, the PlayStation 5 marks the biggest ever month in Japan right now with this. We've also seen huge months before up in Europe, we've seen huge months in America, but this is even bigger. Because as of right now, we've seen Sony and even like Xbox kind of more so like prioritize the more like American eyes, like Western type style Europe, America, a little bit of Canada type places, and well, in my honest opinion, that's some good stuff. That's the normal market. That's us. But I think it's going to become like way more normalized whenever places like India, China, Japan, especially all start getting more stock. And this is why this next big leg up in terms of fixing all of this normal stock and stock issues is about to happen. So as you guys can see, there's actually been sales up over 450%. It's the first time Sony's console has outsold the Nintendo Switch in the region. That is absolutely nuts. So basically, the PlayStation 5 has enjoyed its biggest ever month in Japan, with sales up more than 450% year on year in February. According to Famitsu data, the PS5 was February's best-selling hardware in the country, shifting 366,982 units. Nintendo Switch came in second at 221,041 units. It's the first time the PS5 has outsold Nintendo Switch in a calendar month in Japan. Now, if you guys have been watching or tracking any of the Nintendo Switch stuff, the Pro, the Mini, whatever it might be, the OLEDs, and just overall sales, the Switch has been an unstoppable beast. It has been doing amazing. It's doing very, very well. It's actually doing extremely well. And that's why I think a lot of folks out there are just excited. Like, they're like, hey, this is finally like someone overtaking the king. Now, we have been seeing a little bit of drama when it comes to Nintendo Switch as of recent, which we're also hearing rumors on the Switch 2, Switch Pro, whatever, Super Switch. And we keep on seeing like the numbers finally tapering off, where some places are going down, some people are not buying them. Anyone who probably wants a Switch has it, and there hasn't been that many good games out as of per recent. But as of right now, this is huge because don't forget, even though Sony's kind of a Japanese-based company, Nintendo is too. And Nintendo is like the homegrown, like, baby daddy of all video games, where the fact that the Switch was somehow overthrown makes this actually impressive news. And don't forget, this is also at 366,000 numbers. So, the PlayStation 5 sales are up 457% year on year in Japan for February, having sold 65,772 units in February 2022. Now, that's not the craziest number because we've seen those numbers probably pretty frequently, I would say, in, say, America or even like the UK or whatever. But in Japan, that is a huge number. We have not been seeing the Japanese markets around for a while, but at the same time, we also had a huge issue with scalping in Japan, which has slowly been kind of being solved, and just having a huge influx of 65,000 consoles, especially right now because there isn't really that many big, major, huge games out. That's kind of a good sign. So the PlayStation 5 has enjoyed a strong start to 2023 in some regions, likely due to the much increased availability of the console following years of stock shortages. So as noted by a Twitter user, which we're going to show in a second, Genki Japan, the PS5 sold more units in February in Japan than it literally managed in the very first 4 months combined of 2022 combined, pointing to a massive increase in sales in the region. Sony's console enjoyed a similarly successful February in the UK, which in February saw sales increase by 316% over the same period in 2022. So as you guys can kind of go and see through this actual chart, which will make it a little bit bigger over here, as we kind of been going through all the details where, I'm trying to make this a little bit bigger for you guys, it goes for this so you guys can see the best-selling retail games up here in Japan. Never know where to put my webcam for all this stuff, so let me move this around, where we have the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at 455,000, Splatoon 3, 200,000. Fire Emblem, which I've actually been seeing some streamers out here too as well, dropping over for 200k. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, 189,000, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. All Nintendo games. And that's kind of why I was kind of putting such a big attention on the beating Nintendo Switch side. The best 5 selling games are all Nintendo games. It's literally like Kirby, Mario, Pokemon, Splatoon. This is literally that it. And you guys can also see number 6, Nintendo Switch. I mean, you guys can literally see everything over here, like Octopath over here. We're seeing literally like Super Smash Bros, Super Mario Party All-Stars. And there's a few other ones such as Hogwarts Legacy, which is kind of coming on in, or something like, say, Gran Turismo. But it is kind of crazy that this is like the market. And that's why it's such a big deal that the Switch is actually beating this. So while the Nintendo Switch software still dominated the Japan software charts, with Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe topping the list at 189,000 units, Hogwarts Legacy, which is currently only available on the PS5 and Xbox, actually also go and compete pretty well at 126,000. So due to the lack of significant market penetration of Xbox in Japan, it's likely that most of those sales are also on PS5, which will also potentially spring the huge sales month. So as of right now, the Hogwarts Legacy is now the 7th best-selling game of the year at retail, even in Japan. So to kind of wind down on this little quick thing over here, it's just cool. We're now seeing like the stock shortage actually getting solved, even more in other regions such as like, Australia, Japan. It's not 100% there yet. It's not 1,000% there yet, but it's close. It's very, very, very close. That's what I like to see. I like seeing the idea that all these consoles are becoming normalized, that we could finally have people playing games. And as well, this also might also open up a brand new branch to games like, say, RPGs or JRPGs or more focused games in like the Japanese type market, like these Asian style markets, because those are cool. We like that. We want to see more variety. And we've had a little bit of like controversy these past few years of some Japanese developers either being kind of taken away or having to be diverted into different projects. And it's a little bit more of a scarier thing because we don't have a chance to have like so many games. I like games like Last of Us or God of War, but I don't only want to play games like those. I like the variety. I like the mix. I like the Asian type style RPG games. So the fact that they're selling really well, doing have a huge resurgence, and it's probably the best month they've had in a very long time. This is great. Like, this is literally what we would want to see literally 2 years ago. And it almost kind of makes me sad it took us so long to get to this point in the first place. So I kind of want to hear your thoughts and comments on this down below. And as well, in case you guys did go and miss it, we did talk about this quite a bit, where there was a brand new firmware update. We did go make a video on this as of yesterday too, in case you guys have missed it. So as of right now, both the Discord integration and the VRR is still working. It's up, and I do think most people, if you guys have launched your console, should have a nice version for all this stuff. So earlier today, Sony launched version 7 of the PlayStation 5 software. As of right now, it's probably just depends. So if you guys have not launched it, either download the app, launch your console, or maybe press it really quick before you guys go to work, or whatever it might go and be, or maybe just when you guys get home. I don't know. So I always kind of curious, when you guys watch videos, like, are you guys like working from home? Are you guys like at school? Are you guys just younger? Are you guys just on break, a day off, whatever? I'm always kind of curious in that one. So if you guys want to send me a tweet, I'm actually kind of curious if you guys made this far in the video. So basically for this one, thanks to the latest firmware update too, guys, don't forget, you could also do things such as the start recording, which I actually have been seeing popping up even since then. We've seen some YouTube shorts, we've seen some TikToks popping up with that one, which is very intriguing to see. And as well, you guys can just capture footage, share with your friends or whatever. And we've also had a really also update I never talked about in a separate video, where also PlayStation 5 owners are a little bit easier to find their VR games. I kind of forgot to touch on that on yesterday's video. So if you guys were one of the folks who did get your PlayStation VR, that does give you a nice option to locate your games. It is a little bit harder too, because like imagine you want to play PlayStation VR. You need to have your headset out, it has to be charged. So if you can kind of like somehow streamline the process just a little bit more, it does seem nicer and it does seem better. Like, I like it. I think it's actually all around really cool. So in case you guys didn't miss that, it is also, I think, good also for the PlayStation VR 1 and 2 as well. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this too. They also have messed around with the save data, where they have different cloud systems. And I still think the biggest thing is on the PlayStation 5 Discord. We've seen a few people ask about that. I mentioned before, if you guys want a quick video on the Discord integration or tutorial, I don't think I would mind. fine, mainly just because like it's weird. They've also did some other things such as the PS4 to PS5 data transfer to as well to help and move out your your storage, your consoles, and everything in between. So just in case you guys care about that, that is all available and is up live. And just in case people are curious, I made a video on it yesterday, but some folks are still asking, or maybe missed it, like maybe just didn't watch the actual video or didn't get hit in the recommendations or whatever. But we also do have some cool stuff too, and the PlayStation VR is seeming pretty nice, pretty seamless, and I think with all the other overall features, it's been going pretty good. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. We'll have a few more videos all throughout today, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. We have all the Target, Amazon links down below. Give me your thoughts and comments down below. Leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys all later on throughout today.